So I was on a first date once, and first thing she says to me is, "Hey, Adam, have you ever had a sexually transmitted disease?" It's like, that's an interesting question for a first date. I was like, actually, I just had my annual physical. They checked everything. I'm good to go. And she goes, that wasn't the question. Have you ever had one? I was like, as a matter of fact, I haven't. Then I was like, hey, have you ever been pregnant? She's like, you know I don't have kids. I was like, that wasn't the question. I was on another first date, different woman, and before we'd even ordered like a drink, she pulled out a list of pre-written date questions. I feel like that's a red flag, right? The only way that's a bigger red flag would have been if the list was laminated. And she just starts asking me these questions. She's like, Adam, if you were a fruit, what kind of fruit would you be? I was like, I'd be an apple. She's like, why? I'm like, because it's the first thing I thought of, and this is stupid. And she's like, okay, take this seriously. I'm like, fine. She's like, if you were a vegetable, what kind of vegetable would you be? I was like, the kind that would want you to pull the plug. I'm not enjoying this. And she's like, Adam, last question. If you were in love with a woman and she asked you to, would you help her dispose of a body? I was like, well, I'd drive her to the clinic. It's a weird reaction. I thought you'd all be pro-choice. I was on a third date once, and back in my day, the third date was the date. And she's like, Adam, I just have something I want to tell you. A lot of guys don't like this, so I hope you're okay with it. I'm like, oh, what's that? And she goes, I just want you to know I've had my nose done. I was like, I don't care. I don't care if you've had a nose job, but like, before we take this to the next level, of course, I need to see the original nose. Right? And she's like, why? Are you worried we're gonna like sleep together and then fall in love and then get married and then have kids and the kids are gonna have like disgusting noses? I was like, no, I'm not shallow. It's not that at all. She's like, well, what is it then? I was like, before you see me naked, I need to know what you consider a flaw. Like, what was wrong with it? Did it curve up at the end? Was it crooked? She's like, no, it just made a really weird noise when I blew it.